And hello, Minecraft pros. It's been a while since I did a long form video, and this is my 1,000 subscriber special. Thank you so much for that. And today we're going to be theorizing about what could have happened if they never discontinued the 1998 Furby. So, everything's going to be the same all the way up to. No, wait, I got that wrong. To 2002. Everything will be the same all the way up to 2002. Because 2002 was the year they discontinued this little guy. Photo. This was the year they discontinued the original 1998 Furby. This guy right here. So, instead of it being discontinued in 2002 I mean, it's gonna keep going. Furby brand was dying then, but they're like one last ditch effort. And they bring out new patterns, new eye colors, and they also reprogram it a bit. It has a new voice and everything. Still can interact with the original versions of it and everything. Old patterns are still being made, just not as many of them. But new patterns are the big focus, more colorful, more cheery, and they made a new voice for it. And they even gave it a second personality to get into the personalities of like the 2012 Furbies. We'll be getting into them coming back later into the storyline. Around 2005, they released a Furby friend. The 2005 Furby would be a 2005 Furby friend. Instead of not having an AR sensor, they would have two little dots or three in the head. Like smaller ones, so it can have light sensor, AR, 8R, like stuff, so they can interact with the old Furbies. But because they're a bit taller, I would more expect it to be around here they would put them. So the Furby can still interact. I don't know what they would name this one. Because, like, yeah. And years down the line, they keep making these Furbies. They keep making the original 98 Furbies upgrades and 2005 Furby friend. Until 2012 rolls around. They make a new friend. This little guy. This thing here would be an AR sensor, and it wouldn't have LED eyes, actually. It would be like the 1998 Furbies and the 2023 Furbies. And 2005 Furbies. So basically, just expect this, just with the eyes of a 1998 Furby. And the years go by, and a year later, in 2013, they overhaul the 98 Furbies. They remove the AR sensors. Let's get a photo here of them. So, right here, 1998 Snowball Furby. They've removed this. They keep the black thing as like an iconic thing. They add new eye colors, a whole new programming. They're now communicating with high-pitched squeals. So if we go back to this, they would not have to have these three dots. They would just re-update this to have the new voice, have a new voice and everything. Same with this. And yeah, they're now just high-pitched squeals like the original 2012 Furbies. And they keep going on and on and on. Years later, down the line, we hit 2015 or so. And behind the scenes, they're updating the blue 2012 Furby friend. Don't know what I would call it. And behind the scenes, they're making the Furby Connect as a Furby friend. I'd have a name for this one, it would just be Connect. And they would release it alongside with a re-release of these guys. Same updates and everything. But in 2016, they re-released this one, and this one all together They didn't re-release this one because this is an update of that one. We skipped the boom generation completely, and instead of having the high-pitched squeals, they're now all Bluetooth. All three of these guys, the 2005, 1998, and the Connect. And around 2022 or so, and they started updating, not updating, but making a new friend for the Furbies. Don't know what they would name this one either. Do I have a photo of it? Seriously, I didn't download a photo of the 2023 Furby. Oh, wait, right here. They created this guy as a Furby friend. And yes, Shelby's were still being produced by this time, but they also got all the same updates. So, this would have Bluetooth instead of no interactability with, like, sensors and stuff. And this, and this could all interact with each other. Except for this, because this one was discontinued. But in 2023, this would officially release. With the new gems and stuff like that. And they would do a limited rerun of this Furby with the Bluetooth, so people can have one that interacts with these guys still. And actually, they'd also do a rerun of all of these with the original AR sensors and stuff, so people can have them interact with the older Furbies. And in 2024, let's say they kept going with Furby line. They created a new friend. I would like to be Eggby. So, it would be an egg Furby. Let's do a quick drawing. Like, it's not going to be good. It would... Hey, sorry for the cut in the video. One of my dogs barked. But also, Eggby. It would be just a Furby, but no fur. It would have a hard plastic shell. It would have the original 1998 Furby eyes. Okay, that's not going as the lines. So, it would have little holes for the eye slots to sit, Sort of like this, and then it would have the fake sensor. And for fun, since the ears on the Furbies are just eggs, there would be very small eggs on the side that would move up and down, and the feet, there wouldn't be. The bottom would just be a little flat. So, like, if I just cut this off here, it would be like this. And then there would be a feature where parts of, like, when it would get scared from loud noises, parts of the shell would crack and pop off in a bit of, like, you would see inside and see a bit of yellow yolk as, like, a feature. So if you see here, this is what I would expect it to be like. Basically just a rehash of this guy. But at the time of 2024, Furbies were dying down fast. And they really needed something. And yeah, honestly, this is a horrible drawing. Like, sorry about that. It would probably be better if I didn't do this all at once to show you what I think it would look like. And in 2025, the line was barely alive. So what they did was, they went all the way back to the 2012 Furby. And redesigned it completely. And released it alongside all the other Furby friends. This one would just be called A New Generation is Hatching for the slogan, and called Boomy. Because, like, there's a... Okay, sorry for another cut. A package arrived. Sorry about that. So, like I was saying, Boomy would be the name of this. Because there's a knockoff Furby of 98 called Boomy, and it's a Furby Boom here, so it would be called Boomy. So it would basically just be a rehash of the 2012 Furby friend. And, yeah. They were struggling to get money and stuff. But, since they couldn't afford the Bluetooth stuff, they would go back to the AR for these. So they had to go back all the way to the AR. So this thing would, the Eggby would be discontinued. Barely bought. This guy would be discontinued because this one always relied on Bluetooth. Or, if you guys would like, he could also have 3 dots here. for AR sensors, and this guy would go back to the AR and stuff. So in 2026, I'm not going farther than 2026 for this video. The Furby line was slowly coming back. They went back to Bluetooth in mid of 2026. I know we're not in the mid of 2026 yet, but just be there. So they would bring back all of these lines, except for this one. And they would all be Bluetooth again. Except for this one. This one would never come back. Because, well, yeah. That one flopped. And in 2026, and for Christmas, they released one more Furby. They re-released the Boomy with a crystal pattern. So Boomy Crystal Edition. And that would be it for the timeline if 1998 Furbies never were discontinued. So all of these would be friends. Like, some of these would barely have long lives, but the ones you would see the most on the shelves would be this and this. These two, the original 1998 and 2005 Furby, were sold the most on shelves and always found. Well, bye for now, MPFs. Thanks for 1,000 subscribers. Bye.